go to open homes as like $1,000
cover, which is yung
ang maipapayo. And what is the implication?
so with kayang
This thing and this thing, hindi talaga siya binahin. Welcome to episode 37 of the New Zealand First Homebuyers Guide and Insights. Tonight, we're diving into a crucial, another important topic for all home buyers, or even those who are still planning to get one or to buy one. Restructure versus refinance. Right. It's going to be another interesting topic and something that we really need to know more about and understand it thoroughly, because these are just some of the technical terms that we need to be familiar of. Whether you're looking to adjust your current loans or considering switching lenders for better rates, understanding these options is very essential. And I did study as to the difference of these two, and this is why we're having this topic, because we would like to share it with you guys. And we'll break down the benefits and considerations of both restructuring and refinancing, helping you make informed decisions for your financial future. Have a good evening, everybody. It's already 5. Oh, sorry. It's 7 past 7 already here in New Zealand, and not so late, but it's already dark. Unlike when it's summertime, when the sky is still bright around this time of the day. And it's good to have you join me. If you get some free time, just join me tonight. I'm gonna be by myself. We're waiting. We look forward to having Marianne again next week once she comes back to New Zealand. At the moment, hi Marianne. If you're able to watch this, I know internet in the Philippines is still not so reliable, and so I do understand if I'm pretty sure you're gonna catch up with the past episodes that you're missing out. But I really look forward to joining me again next week once you're back here. Excited to hear a lot of stories from you back home there. Ooh, another exciting, informative journey of Mary Ann there in the Philippines. Right, talking about restructure and refinance and home buying, of course. We encourage you guys to engage with us if you can, actually with me because I'm by myself, throughout the session. Please let me know where you're watching from. Ask questions, leave comments, and share your thoughts or your experience and your aspirations if you don't mind. Your participation makes these discussions richer and more valuable for everyone. So yeah, I'm looking forward to read your comments here if you're watching me right now. Joining me, actually. I don't want to say watching, but yeah, it is what it is. Stay tuned, please, and join the conversation, and let's navigate the home loan journey together. I recently heard from, actually, I've seen from attorney Marisol on her post that she has helped another couple in, I'd like to believe that they are kababayan as well, who had just recently bought their first home. Yeah, looking forward for you guys to buy your second one soon. So if you're wanting to learn more about this home buying journey, guides and insights, even if you're new to New Zealand, join me now or watch the previous episodes that we have done. And this is already the 37th episode. We were still going to keep going. Right. Our restructure and refinance journey with ANZ. It's our personal journey that I'm going to share. This is not specific advice to anyone because each case is different. My financial status is different from your one, but definitely you'll get some insights as to what you're going to do when kind of you hear this stuff and that stuff. who would you approach? Okay, I just want to share this with you so that you'll gain some knowledge and hopefully you'll be on the same page as we are now having our first home. When we actually started our journey to buy a home, of course, we have mentioned it so many times that we got our loan directly from ANZ. We have reached out to different mortgage brokers. I myself have spoken to many of them to get a lot of insights. But we ended up dealing with a mortgage, not an advisor, mortgage broker from ANZ, Paula. So we have her as our one of our guests previously. If you missed that episode, feel free to scroll on my YouTube playlist, particularly the playlist for the New Zealand First Home Buyers Guide and Insights. And we have Paula talking about the home loan that is getting approved by the ANZ. If you're banking with ANZ, you can reach out to Paula. Her details is there. Or just type down mortgage advisors of ANZ and it's actually free. So we were so excited when we got our home loan approved, everything's done, but we knew it was just the beginning. Our loan was set for 3 years. So that was like a contract. And if ever we're going to break that contract, we're going to pay. I'm trying to recall because I'm pretty sure Paula mentioned it to us that we're going to pay her if we're going to break the contract for 3 years. So, yeah, that was the contract that we have initially got with ANZ right in the beginning when we used the home loan, when we got the home loan from them. But we decided to lock in our interest rate just for 1 year. So at that time, it was around 3%, 3 something percent. And we didn't have any idea that that was actually one of the lowest interest rate of all. And we thought, it might go down to 2% after a year. So my husband and I was thinking of locking it in for 2 years or three, but my husband said, maybe we'll just lock it in for 1 year because it might go down. That was our hope, I would say. And also, this gave us the flexibility to review our option every year. And that was basically the idea why we locked it in for 1 year. And at the end of the first year, we restructured our loan. So the term is restructure. Restructuring means changing the terms of our current loan without changing the lender. We were still with ANZ, but the interest rate had changed. And it was so unfortunate that it went up to 5, 5% as far as I know, as far as I remember. 5 something percent. And we were like, oh, what a shame, but it is what it is. The interest rate will always be a variable. And yeah, so we lock it in for a new rate, and that's for another year. And we were like, ooh, might be the following year it will come down to 4 or 3%. And that's why we again decided to just lock it in for for 1 year. Remember, we're tied up with ANZ for 3 years. So if we decide to look for another lender for a cheaper offer, then we will be breaking our contract and we will have to pay a fee. So restructuring it the following year for the second year was easy because we will get a notification on our app anyway that hey, that is within 60 days, and we were notified that hey, your interest rate is going to change. I mean, it's due on this date, and these are the interest rates that's going to be offered to us, so we can lock it in before the 60-day period. And we just have to take whether we're happy to lock it in for another year. This is the interest rate for the next for 2 years. This is the interest rate and 3 years. And of course, the cheapest one is that was seven something, 7% something, and that's good for 1 year. And so we locked it in again for 1 year, and we were so devastated because the interest rate just kept going up, although we were hoping it will go down. Yes. And that was really the sad part because you cannot tell whether the interest rate will go up and down during the time that you have to lock in your interest rate. Now, after the second rate, so that's another restructuring. By the end of the second year, we structured our home loan again, and that was it. But adjusting the current loan to suit our needs without changing or switching our bank. So we were still with ANZ at that time. Now here comes the third one. So just last year, because we were like, oops, our contract with ANZ is finishing. That was last year. And before it finishes, months before it finishes, I'd say 6 months, I was already scouting for other lenders and banks, checking whether they can offer us a cheaper interest rate. Because when I was looking at the website of ANZ, they would always put up their standard interest rate for the mortgage, right? And I was like, oops, that's so high, it's higher than seven. And so I don't have to wait for our interest rate to before it's due. I will have to look for another options, looking for banks and lenders who can offer us a better interest rate. However, after researching, we didn't find any offers better than ANZ. And of course, I still reach out to Paula. Lucky she's still there as the mortgage broker of ANZ. And because it's time for us to kind of refinance, this is the term now, refinance. I was thinking of refinancing with another bank. Often they include incentives like cashback offers. And that's why I was searching for another lenders, but none of the deals were good enough to switch. I've reached out to other mortgage brokers, advisors specifically, if we can get a better offer from the banks that they are connected to. I've reached out directly to Westpac even, but no, they can't give us a better offer. Still, at that time, ANZ was offering us a good one. But I reached out to our mortgage, Paula, right? Mortgage broker that we first dealt with, asking if there's a chance that we can get a better interest rate, a better interest rate for our mortgage, because we've been with ANZ anyway. We've been consistently paying, and we have this consistent income and this much. And of course, Paula was happy to help us out. And so we have refinanced, not with another bank though, but we decided to have it again with ANZ. Unfortunately, we didn't get a cashback incentive, which is normally, like what I've said, is common when you switch lenders. But we did get a lower interest rate. So from seven, it went down to 6 point something now. And another thing that we have done when we refinanced, we actually changed the structure of our loan. It's now split into three. So a third of it is locked in for 6 months with a higher interest rate compared to the other third, which is locked in for 2 years. And the last third is locked in for 3 years, which has the lowest interest rate among the three of them. So that's how our mortgage home loan look like now. And of course, because we have topped up as well for our car loan, where I we have merged it into our home loan, and that's why there's a need for restructuring. And yep, that's how it is now. Refinancing with the same bank means just replacing the old loan with a new one under better terms without a hassle of changing banks. So restructuring is mainly staying at the same with the same lender, but you are just changing the terms and the interest rates depending on what is offered to you. But with refinancing, normally when you switch bank or you change the terms, like how do you say, like what we have done with our one, it's because we've already finished our previous contract with ANZ, and so we structure it with three splits of our home loan. Yep. Restructure means changing the terms of your existing loan without switching banks. It's flexible option to adjust your loan based on your financial situation or market changes. So we restructured our loan twice in 3 years with ANZ to get better interest rates without extra cost. While refinance, this means like you're replacing your current loan with a new one, possibly with a different bank, but it's also okay with the same bank. It can lead to a better interest rate because you kind of negotiate with the bank, of course, as to your the interest rate and the lower monthly payments, or also the different loan terms. So that's why we considered refinancing after our third year, but chose to stay with ANZ for their good rates. I am not promoting ANZ. I am just sharing my experience with them. Maybe in your case, if you're banking with Westpac, maybe they can offer you a better rate because you're with them already and they can see your financial stability. And it depends on your savings as well and your consistency in the payment of your bills and many other factors. So it's a case to case basis. I've heard from a friend of mine whom I have as a guest here as well one time, and they've been with Westpac because Westpac offered them a good rate or a better rate, and that's good. I think it depends on the bank and depends on your financial status. They would normally offer you a better rate, especially if you've been with them already and you're a good client and they want to keep you, they would do that. And because we've been with ANZ for a long time, they know us already, and they offered us because they want us to stay with ANZ. Otherwise, we will look for some other banks. So yeah, that's just our journey with ANZ. It shows you how important it is to understand restructuring and refinancing. I know you can get these words mixed up because it starts with Ray. But by staying informed and flexible, we manage our home loan well, as far as I know, secured good terms, and handled our finances effectively. And yep, each decision, whether to restructure or to refinance, help us optimize our loan and stay on track with our home ownership goals. And I think I've mentioned it so many times. Our next goal is to buy our second one, either a second one under our name again, or might be helping our kids buy their first home with our guidance. And if we can help them with a little bit of our equity, and that would be great. That's our next step, actually. So, whatever stage you are in your home buying journey, whether you're just starting to plan it, keep it up. Start thinking about it, learning more about it, because that's how we started too. And once you keep dreaming it and desiring it and learning more about it, you're getting closer to your goal, right? So don't just say, it's a long way to go, but it's not going to come close until you make one little step closer to it. And by watching our videos or reading more about home ownership, there are many websites that will give you a lot of information about it. But our uh, podcast here gives you more specific and in depth insights, especially based on our experiences and knowledge from what we've heard from others. So, yeah, that's it for tonight. And it's quite quick because I'm by myself and there's less chatting. Thank you so much for watching, and I really hope that you're learning a lot from it and from the videos that we have already compiled for you to go back and learn. And hopefully, we'll hear from you. If you can just flick us a message saying, thank you, our videos have been helpful to you, that would be greatly appreciated by our team, me and Marianne. And if you're wanting to join us in one of our podcasts, feel free to flick me a message and let's discuss about what topic related to home ownership in New Zealand we will have, so that our viewers and those who are dreaming to have their first home here as well in New Zealand will get more insights and be more confident in buying their first home. Thank you so much for joining me and have a good night. Ka kite.